Melbourne, Melbourne, Melbourne. Tonight, I give you permission to laugh. I need a 1-hour Netflix show so you can really understand me. In 1788, they estimate there was between 1.1 million and 1.5 million Aboriginal voices in this country. By 1967, the first census that ever counted Aboriginal people, it was estimated there was 86,000 voices left. That's a lot of voices gone. Fast forward 20 years to where I come from, the Northern Territory. In 2007, the Racial Discrimination Act was suspended for the third time. All three occasions for the benefit of Aboriginal people. The then Minister, Mal Bluff, flew to a remote community called Wadeye, some 2,000 Aboriginal people, what was left of 9 tribes. He landed to speak to the Aboriginal people, to tell them what they needed to hear. They took him to the sacred meeting place. In the shade, he looked them in the eye and he said, "You guys aren't handling colonisation very well, are you?" And he said it with that much passion and conviction. And he said, "So what's going to save you is industry, the mining industry, the fracking industry, the tourism industry." He looked around at the public servants and the elders, didn't speak to anyone, very proud of himself, jumped into his charter flight, flew back to Canberra. The wise old man stood up. He's seen many, many talks, many people fly in and out. And he walked up under the shady tree and he reckoned, "Hey, you mob, that man, that Mulligar, he's mad. He thinks all of that's in this tree. He thinks fracking's in this tree. He thinks mining's in this tree." True story. True story. So we use humour to heal. Fast forward 3 days ago. Mr. Peter Spud Dutton arrives in Alice Springs. All right, we're going to straighten this out. Hit and run. He lands in Alice Springs. Anyone been to Alice Springs? When you land in the airport, you have to go through the McDonnell Ranges, the Gap, the land and country of Namatjira. And he goes through there with his escort because it hasn't been safe since the introduction of jails and prisons and police and children being stolen. So he goes to the meeting and all the Aboriginal people and public servants are there. And he says with great conviction, "You haven't been handling colonisation very well, have you? So I'm here to close the gap. Close the gap on education. Close the gap on health. Close the gap on wealth." Drops the mic. Turns to his advisors. How did that go, Jacinta Price? Jumps in the car. Drives off with his security, not safe in Alice Springs. The wise old woman steps up. She looks at the crowd. She's seen this many times before. And she says, "Hey, that man, he's mad, that Mulligar. How come he want to close the gap? How are we going to get to the airport?" So ladies and gentlemen, you guys all have a voice. I hope you use that voice because there's lots of people that don't. Thank you, Melbourne. Hope you enjoyed it.